We're all here and socially distanced, so I'm going to take my mask off so you can hear me clearly. I'm Jeff McQuilkin. I'm the Executive Director of the Mono Lake Committee. And I've got with me three experts on Mono Lake who will introduce themselves and speak in a few moments as we take a lake level reading and celebrate the 26th anniversary of the State Water Resources Control Board decision to protect Mono Lake. It was really a momentous moment. It was 26 years ago this morning that the vote happened. I was fortunate enough to be there myself in the hearing room in Sacramento in the state capitol. Quite a crowd assembled to see the water board take the final vote on a multi-year journey of study and analysis and many months of cross-examination and dispute and competing viewpoints in the hearing room, and led them to the point of a unanimous decision on the rules that would control water exports to the City of Los Angeles by the Department of Water and Power for the future. It was probably one of the few times the State Water Board has received a standing ovation as the result of a vote. That's what water board members told us, at least. It was quite the day. What does the water board decision contain in it? Well, the issue that they were addressing was decades of excessive water diversions in the Los Angeles Aqueduct by the Department of Water and Power, and the impacts those were creating on Mono Lake and its tributary streams. The lake is part of one of the classic water war stories of California and the American West. The lake had lost half its volume, doubled in salinity due to water exports. 20 miles of streams had gone dry due to the diversion of their flow. And Mono Lake's a salt lake. We love salt lakes. It makes it a special and unique ecosystem, but even Mono Lake can get too salty. And as it gets lower, it gets saltier. And so the water board was grappling with what is needed to protect Mono Lake, what are the obligations to the streams, what are the real water needs in Los Angeles, and how to balance all those. And they had not only their own opinions and duties in mind, but they had the public trust doctrine from California, they had the fish and game codes protecting the streams, and a lot of public input seeking to protect this special place for future generations. So the decision that has controlled how things work in terms of water exports for these past 26 years set a management level for Mono Lake, a healthy level that they determined would be ecologically sustainable for the long term. It's 6392 feet above sea level, to be precise. They set minimum stream flows for the tributary streams to be sure that the fisheries could survive and the habitat could be restored. They also provided for future water exports to Los Angeles in a sustainable manner that would protect the resources here at the lake. The diversion criteria that they picked at that time were designed to raise the lake gradually to this management level that they had set. The lake was so low that at the time of the decision it needed to rise to get to the actual long-term management level, even though that management level is far below the natural level that Mono Lake would have. And that's because there's provision for continuing water sharing with the city. So it's really been seen as a hallmark of wise water planning, a way to incorporate environmental protection into water rights and water planning in California. And here at the Mono Lake Committee, it's something we celebrate every year. And this year is particularly special, and we're going to talk about why that is. But first, I would like to touch on another aspect of the water board decision. So, great decision, momentous in terms of the rules it set for water exports, but carefully crafted, and the result was that it reached an agreement. An agreement was reached between all the parties that had been in the hearing room with lawyers fighting each other. Everyone agreed, we're going to live by this decision. This is going to work for us. And so I'd like to introduce Tom Soto, who's an environmental leader from Los Angeles and a Mono Lake Committee board member, and has been involved in this issue for a long, long time, to talk about how that came together. Tom.
Thank you, Jeff. Again, my name is Tom Soto. I'm a longtime board member of the Mono Lake Committee, and basically what Jeff has described was not just a settlement agreement. It wasn't just an understanding. It was a precedent-setting standard for others to follow. It was the first time that the City of Los Angeles' Department of Water and Power, the State Water Resources Control Board, the State of California, all convened and were able to agree to save this beautiful resource called Mono Lake. This is a permanent prehistoric lake. There's no other lake like it in the entire planet. And because of the leadership of people like Dick Reardon, Mayor Reardon, Governor Pete Wilson, Mark Del Piero, who was chair of the State Water Board, Ruth Galanter, City Council member, the Mono Lake Committee, and all of our members who supported us for 25 years prior to that point, and above all, the leadership of Sally Gaines and her late husband, David Gaines, who founded the Mono Lake Committee, we were able to achieve this historic agreement. That agreement essentially said that the City of Los Angeles will take responsibility for restoring the riparian habitat and the stream flows that feed Mono Lake, allowing it to get to a management level mandated by the state of California that is sustainable and will allow future generations of Californians and indeed everyone to enjoy the beauty of this lake and this scenic area. We now find that that is being threatened. It's not a question of whether the agreement is there or not. It's a question of whether the leadership that had been embedded into this agreement from the Department of Water and Power remains committed to living up to the standards of what they had agreed to 26 years ago today. And we're calling on the Department of Water and Power to please recognize the need to assert that type of leadership again. In an era of climate change where we have more frequent and more intense droughts, where we have shorter winters and longer fire seasons, we're compelled to recognize this agreement as a multi-generational standard to ensure the life of this lake. We appreciate the great leadership that we've had over the years with the Department of Water and Power in the City of Los Angeles, the City Council, but now we're calling on the City of LA, the Department of Water and Power Commission, and the team at the Department of Water and Power to work cooperatively with Mono Lake Committee to assure that we could get to that lake level that they agreed to, we agreed to, and the state agreed to 26 years ago today. To all of our Mono Lake Committee supporters, all of our members, thank you so much for everything that you've done and contributed to make sure we got to that point. But we're still in it, and we're going to fight, and we're going to continue to win, and we know that we will. So thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you, Tom. Right on. There's a lot of work ahead. Tom's giving a preview of it for sure. So we're going to jump right in here to taking the actual measurement, see how we are doing compared to the day the Water Board voted and to the level that we're seeking to get the lake to. And I'm going to ask Robbie DiPaolo to come up and tell us a little bit about how this works.
Thanks, Jeff. So my name is Robbie DiPaolo. I'm the Restoration Field Technician for the Mono Lake Committee. And Maureen and I will read the lake level gauge here at least once a month at a high level of precision. So the plate that Maureen is reading has it's at an elevation of 6380.10, and she's reading it to the 100th of a foot. So we will be able to know exactly what elevation the lake is relative to sea level. And we've been doing this over the years, and it's been critical to understand how the lake has changed over time and how we're tracking to getting to that healthy management level. And it looks like Maureen is writing the lake level right now, and let's see if she can tell us what the lake level is.
Hi, my name is Maureen McGlinchey. I've been working on the lake level hydrology modeling at the committee. And our live lake level measurement this morning is 6381.47 feet above sea level. And this is 10.5 feet below the healthy management level of 6392 that was mandated by the State Water Board. And now we'll have Jeff come back on to let us know what happens next.
All right, thank you, Maureen. Thank you, Robbie. So here we are. Lake is not at the management level. In fact, we're pretty far from it. The level Maureen reported shows that we've made it about 40% of the way from the day of the Water Board's vote to today in terms of reaching that management level. So we're not even halfway there yet. What did the water board expect? How long did they think it would take to raise the lake? Well, it's an interesting answer, and it's why today is so important. They expected that it would be at the management level about now. So I wouldn't be standing here on this sandy shore. I would be underwater if that was the case. The water board also, in the decision, anticipated that despite their best efforts and the modeling and the forecasting that was done, it was possible that the weather conditions, that climate conditions would be different than what they had forecast, and so the lake might be slower to achieve the management level. And to account for that possibility, the decision actually contains a provision for the board to take a look at the situation, consider the condition of the lake, look at the diversion criteria they set 26 years ago, and see what changes might be needed to assure the lake indeed does rise up to the management level. And this is a kind of a trigger, a threshold year for that process starting. So what we expect will happen will be a lot of discussion about models, but that the water board will step back in to take an active look at what's happening, leading to a hearing and various forums to discuss what possibilities they might implement so that the lake rise accelerates and we get up to that long-term management level. Why does it matter how long it takes? Why does Mono Lake need to be there? Well, there's a million reasons. Migratory birds, nesting birds, all the resources that rely on this special place. But certainly when we're at a low level like this, we're always in a risky spot, and that's one of the real concerns right now. Today, we're enjoying Mono Lake. It's good, but 2 drought years away, the lake might be low again, exposing the land bridge out to the California gull nesting colony, one of the largest in the world, letting coyotes walk out there. A classic Mono Lake problem that the water board solved with a decision 26 years ago, and yet we're only a couple dry years away from that happening again. Getting Mono Lake up to the management level is also smart for climate change situation. We know that there are going to be more extremes coming to California. We know we're already seeing them in terms of wet years and dry years. And Mono Lake is probably going to rise and fall and fluctuate in response to those. Mono Lake needs to be up higher so it has space to rise and fall in those dry years without triggering some of the really dangerous and ecologically damaging events that we're talking about. In addition, right now, a lot of exposed lake bed out there generating some of the worst air pollution in the United States. In fact, for 8 years running, the exposed lake bed is producing the worst PM10 particulate air pollution in the nation. The solution to that is embedded right into the water board decision: raise the lake, cover that emissive area with water. So lots to be done, lots of reasons to get the lake up to the management level, and it's something we at the Mono Lake Committee are going to be working actively on. We'd invite you to join us and be part of that effort. You could use the donate button on this Facebook Live, or go to our website at monolake.org. If you're a member, we appreciate it, and we thank you for that. If you're not a member, we'd love to have you join up. We'll keep you informed about what's happening. There's going to be lots of activism and next steps to be done. Today, I'd just like to wrap up and appreciate again that we're 26 years in. The board decision is worth celebrating. It mapped a path forward, even a path forward in the low lake levels that we're at right now. Mono Lake is actually one of the best protected salt lake ecosystems in the world, thanks to the State Water Board decision, underscoring the need to make sure all the promises of the decision are realized. Thank you so much for joining us for this Facebook Live event today. We appreciate it and enjoy Mono Lake.